Oh yeah, you already know what time it is. JW Broadcasting, May Edition. Roll the intro. It is the May edition of the JW Broadcasting. We have a brand new segment that's about cooking. We have the watch along party, which isn't really a party because I'm sitting here, but you're watching with me, so that makes it a party. Yes, the JW Classics. We have Bible reading with Wally, but we don't have out of context this month because we changed it to the super blooper. Yes, that's what we're calling it, the super blooper. I decided instead of doing an out of context, I was just going to show you a few behind the scenes outtakes, bloopers, whatever you want to call them. All right, so let's get into our first segment, and as always, it is going to be the JW deep dive, but this time it has a little bit of a twist. Let's see how tasty it's going to be. Hello and welcome to the first ever JW Thoughts cooking show. You didn't ask for it, but I know you need it because people are messing up these simple Watchtower recipes. What we're going to do is take these simple recipes and make them a little bit better. With a little proper technique, using our thinker, we're going to show you how to make perfect witnesses. Let me show you how. Alright, so first up, this is a mistake I see so many witnesses make, and they don't think that it makes that big of a difference, but it absolutely does. What you need to do is, when you are trying to make a perfect witness, you need to start early on. And I'm talking reading the Bible story book to your children when they're very young. So we're going to take about 1 cup worth of early indoctrination. I'm talking when they're still in the womb, and we're gonna add that to a bowl. Now that you have a nice foundation and you've been reading and really getting that indoctrination going, next up, you are not gonna wanna miss this step. A lot of people think, oh, I don't have to take my son or daughter to the Kingdom Hall in the first few months. No. They need to be at the Kingdom Hall, learning how to pay attention at the meeting when they are weeks old. So the next step is we are going to add a little bit of meeting attendance. Meeting attendance, so important. So you're just going to get a nice dollop of that. And remember, you don't want to wait too long on this. Next up, you are going to be doing field service as well. You're going to want to make sure that they are going in the ministry as early as possible. Now this, I'll allow you to wait a month, but any longer than a month, you're just making excuses. So get them within the first month and get them out in the field ministry. Okay. Now let's just whisk all of this together. Now you're going to cover all of this up with some cellophane. And you're going to be good. As long as you're doing these 3 things, you're going to be good for a while. So you're going to pop that in the oven for about 4 or 5 years. Alright, so now that you have your little witness that's been baking for about 4 to 5 years, you're going to have a little toddler. And it's pretty shocking to see the difference, but oh my god, look at this little beauty. Now, there is a big problem with anyone that's about 4 or 5 years old, is they have this thing called personality. Now, we hate personality. So you know what we need to do? Very simple. You need to take this personality layer that's around this and grind it down. So you just start really grinding. Alright, so after you've grinded down all of that, yucky personality and everything, you really just want to get rid of, the rest of the personality because you don't want that. But, whatever was left in the middle, you want to take that. And here's another key mistake that people make. This is when it comes to personal study. Now, some people think that they can break up their personal study into itty-bitty little pieces. No! Your personal study needs to be consistent. I'm talking Bible reading every day. Study for every single meeting. Comment at every single meeting. Always be ready for all your parts. We need to teach them how to be perfect little witnesses, okay? None of this inconsistent personal study crap, okay? Next up, we are going to move forward. And if you guys think, oh, this is really hard, Wally, it's not that hard. Okay, it's not that hard. Okay, now we're gonna wrap this again. And we are going to let this, I know how to use cellophane. We are gonna let this rest in the oven again for another 10 years. Yo, you heard me correctly. Once you get these few key ingredients, you basically don't have to do anything. Meetings, service, personal study, bang, you're all done. Let it sit there until they're a teenager. All right, now after you've waited about 10 years, you are going to have one of the most difficult things to deal with when it comes to the culinary witness experience, and that's going to be a teenager. So let's get our little teenager out. Let's have been in here for about 10 years, and oh god, they even smell horrible. Now, the worst part about this is they're going to have these little tiny annoying things. You can see them right here. All these little annoying things called goals. Now, what you want to do with goals is you want to just start crushing those. And just, crush them really good. And sometimes that's not even enough. You really got to start just really. Alright, now that you have these goals completely pulverized and crushed by any means necessary, scoop them right into your bowl. Now, a natural thing that's going to happen and is necessary for this all to come together is for you to add one last ingredient in this teenage stage, and that's going to be a little bit of freedom. Now, a natural byproduct, don't freak out, but a natural byproduct of adding a little bit of freedom is going to be these weird guys that just almost seem to pop up out of nowhere. And that's going to be aspiration and ambition. And it's very easy to deal with. Here, let me show you. It's a little bit of technique. You basically just go. All of the goals and you have eviscerated all aspirations and ambition, there's only one final step that you need, and that's baptism, because once they're baptized, they're in for life. So alright, so there you have it, the perfect formula to get a perfectly basic, simple, boring, flavorless, mindless cult member. Now, thank you so much for watching the JW Thoughts Cooking channel, and we will see you next time. But wait, there's more. As every cooking show you know, always we show you how to make things 2 ways. Now, we've already shown you how to indoctrinate your child, but what about indoctrinating someone off the street, huh? You ever wonder how you can do that? Well, I'm about to show you, okay?
You can go whenever.
Okay, so now, the very first step in trying to convert someone into becoming a witness is finding the right type of ingredients. So it's not easy. I spent a lot of years trying to find the perfect candidate that could just, really comply with all of the Watchtower indoctrination. So first off, you need to put in a little bit of effort and find the right, candidate, the perfect ingredients. baby, she's perfect. All right, now, once you found your perfect meat, you really want it ideally to be as completely miserable as possible. I mean, you want to find someone that has, divorced, their parents just died, they lost their job, they lost their house, as many elements of negativity as you can find. That is going to be your perfect candidate to be able to convert them to becoming one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, once you find your perfect little meat man, you're going to add one ingredient, and this is logical fallacies. So you're just going to slap those logical fallacies right in there. All right, now we're going to take our little potential witness and we're going to do the very last thing, and it's very important. You need to get them to the Kingdom Hall and you need to do some proper love bombing. So for this, you're going to need to have your love bombing up at least over 600 degrees. So then you're going to take your little witness, potential witness man, and you're going to love bomb the hell out of them. And then just pour some of that extra nonsense all over him. Yeah, really get him in there. And then you're gonna cook that bad boy. Okay, once your Bible study has been on that super hot setting, really giving it all the love bombing in the world to make up for all of the depressing, horrible things that they went through, it should look something like this. Now that you've followed all of these steps, look at this perfect little Jehovah's Witness. Does it look like it's something that's going to be able to handle the challenges of this world on its own? No. Does it look like it'll be able to think on its own? No. Will it be a perfect little drone and do whatever you want? Yes. Hello and welcome to the JW Thoughts Deep Dive. My name is Wally and today we are looking into child indoctrination and indoctrination of people that Jehovah's Witnesses might meet on the street. Now, when it comes to all of the things that the Watchtower promotes and what it means to be a member of the Jehovah's Witnesses, one of the first things that almost anybody will think of is the preaching work. So, the preaching work is designed to bring people and to save their life. And if you're a Jehovah's Witness, it is the most important work on planet Earth. They literally say it is the most important thing that you can do with your time. Doing charitable work, building schools, donating blood, building a hospital. What should you do? You should try and indoctrinate people into our faith. And this starts with your children, because you have to make sure that your children grow up and they love Watchtower and they want to be a Jehovah's Witness, and it appears, at least to them, that it was of their free will. Now, most people are pretty aware of the fundamentals of indoctrination, and I think I want to actually make a separate video or 2 or 3 about the subject, going into it in a more in-depth way. And with these deep dives, I like to just give a few of my sort of off-the-cuff thoughts and then have a funny skit. So we had our skit with the cooking show. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you want to see another one, let me know in the comments below. But anyway, let me give you a few of my thoughts and experiences when it comes to indoctrination. So right off the bat, one of the things that is quintessential to the human race is how we take care of children. Now, I know Watchtower has a big problem when it comes to how they take care of children, but in particular is, aside from the safeguarding issues, but I'm talking about the education. I believe that every person should be educated up to their maximum potential. I think that Everyone should have an opportunity to reach the highest level of their brain's capacity to function in a practical way in the society that we've created. And with the Jehovah's Witnesses and with their propaganda that they promote so strongly at such an early age, this absolutely doesn't happen. People are told how to think and what to think, literally from the womb, before they are even born into this world and have taken their first breath. Their parents have been told that they need to be beginning the process. Okay, start praying with them, because there's these random studies that we're plucking out of nowhere that say if you start talking to them, even though they don't understand, it's going to make an impact. And again, I'm not a scientist or anything, so I don't know whether or not that's true. But the concept is you need to begin the process as soon as you possibly can. Like, okay, I haven't even birthed this child yet, and yet Watchtower's telling me that I need to begin indoctrinating them. Sorry, my bracelets came undone. And I think that's absolutely deplorable, because anyone that's left the organization and done even a modicum of research and understands the basic tenets of logic and reason will tell you that the highest level Jehovah's Witness is like an 8th grader. Maybe. That's probably being generous. You hear the illustrations that the governing body and the governing body helpers give, and you think, are you talking to like idiots? And in order to come up with these illustrations, I think you might be pretty stupid yourself. Like the stupid skits that I do, it tells a lot about me. I'm probably not that smart, and I kind of like silly, random, quirky things, right? So you can tell by the content that I produce sort of the type of person that I am. And with the Watchtower, I think it's exactly the same. You look at the type of illustrations and the type of content that they produce, and you think, this is meant for babies. Like, it's actually meant for babies. And when you take that into consideration, that these people that are only able to produce content that's meant for babies and toddlers are giving people advice on how to raise their children and how to educate them, and what to be teaching them and to what level that they need to educate their children, it's insanity. It's actual insanity. And the formula is the same for every kid as well. Just, make sure you start early, do all of these things, and then they'll grow up to be a good witness, which is probably good because it is really a roll of the dice. You can have 8 kids, you raise them all the same way. 4 of them will be a witness, 4 of them will leave. Maybe it's like 6 will leave and 2 will stay. I don't know the exact statistics on it. But maybe we should be thankful that Watchtower has such a poor way of going about their indoctrination plan. But I think it's so deplorable that, these guys that have only like 8 or 9 brain cells that are active in their heads are the ones educating parents on how to raise their children. And then the other aspect of that, on how to make a good witness, is finding someone in the field ministry. So when you're a Jehovah's Witness, your goal when you're knocking on doors is to convert somebody. And the Watchtower has this plan, basically, of, find someone that's had a tragedy happen. It's written in their literature. People might not be favorable to hearing the message now, but perhaps they might experience a tragic loss. They might be going through some financial difficulty. Maybe they lost their job. Now would be a good time for you to knock on their door, and they might be receptive to hearing the good news of the truth. It's just seeking out vulnerable people. And do you know what you call someone that seeks out the most vulnerable? It's a predator. The Watchtower are telling witnesses that they need to be predators, out there on the hunt, looking for the weakest of society. When people are at their absolute lowest point, that's when they need to swoop in and hit them with this barrage of random information to start. It's confusing. But then after people get the random information that's confusing, then they get this just tsunami of love bombing, and they find, friends and people that are telling them their family, and they get everything that they were missing in their lives. And there's this community that just wraps their arms around them. And if you take someone, well, trust me, when you're very depressed, your brain does all sorts of wild and wacky things. But if you take someone that's in that state and they're very depressed and they're going through a difficult situation, you will be more susceptible to this indoctrination. And that's why, I know I went over the top in my skit by having like dog hair and bark and parsley leaf. I don't even know what was on that anymore. But I think it does illustrate a bigger point that when it comes to how the Jehovah's Witnesses go about their indoctrination process, it absolutely is like predatorial. I don't know a better way to put it. If there's a lion out there in the savannah, he's going to try and find the weakest of the bunch and exploit it. So they're trying to exploit people that are going through issues, and I find it absolutely just disgusting. Anyway, this was going to be a more brief version of the JW Thoughts deep dive, because this is a subject that I want to talk about a little bit more. Thank you so much for joining us for the deep dive, and we will see you next month. Actually, a little note. Next month, I am trying to get together a ex-Jehovah's Witness YouTuber extravaganza where we put on a larger skit with a lot of the smaller EXJW channels. So I'm trying to work on a script right now and getting some more people involved. So hopefully for the June JW Thoughts broadcast, our deep dive will involve a skit with maybe like 6 to 8 different ex-Jehovah's Witness YouTubers. So hopefully it all works out and we can get all of our stars aligned, as it were. But yeah, anyway, just a quick note on the deep dive. But anyway, we will see you next month. All right, well, there you have it. A wonderful recipe on how to make a full-grown witness, whether they're born into the religion or they're indoctrinated later on in life. Now, let's take a look at some of the outtakes from the JW Thoughts channel. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I'm bougie. I drink coconut, cucumber water. What are you gonna say about it? Ugh. Actually, that's a really good way to introduce the outtakes. Run it. I feel confident in my abilities. Okay, here we go. That was a good intro. Outro. What was it? I don't fucking know. So you might be thinking to yourself, wait, how can you have... I think this light is not hitting my face right. It's too low. Damn it. Man, that would be so good if it could stay. Intro music. Intro music. The Lockbox. Early in the year. Is this mic okay? Hello and welcome to the JW Thoughts channel. Glad I got that out of the way. Hello everyone, hi. My name is Wally and I need you, Jim. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Here we go. Welcome to, well, Zizi's in the way. So wait, this is going to turn inevitably. There you go. Okay. You can lay right there. There you go. Welcome to the JW Thoughts Deep Dive.
Hi viewers, welcome to my bedroom. Bye viewers, that was my bedroom.
So you might be thinking, Wally, you've lost your damn mind. Don't say damn that early. And I probably can't add that much to the conversation. Hey, Zizi, can you stop sitting? Okay, I gotta get rid of the cat. Sorry. Oh, no, now we've lost the microphone too. Oh, boy. Oh, Lord. Okay. So the first time that I heard about Toni Morris give a talk about tight pants, it was when he was at one of our regional April broadcast. That was a terrible intro, but we're gonna just keep it going. We are live and in action. Bring the energy, you're the star of the fucking show. Okay. And now we wait for Zizi's tail to get out of the way. Perfect. Well, there you have a quick look at some of the behind-the-scenes shenanigans over here at the JW Thoughts channel. Next up, we are going to be looking at one of our favorite segments, and that's Bible Reading with Wally. We are in the book of Joshua. Let us see what this crazed man has to say about the sun standing still. That's right, you know what time it is. Bible Reading with Wally, part 5, 6? I can't even remember how many we've done now. But yes, we're in the book of Joshua. But this time, I thought we would do a little bit of a twist. And that twist is going to be, I'm actually going to be advocating for a strange verse in the Bible. I know, it seems kind of crazy, but I thought every once in a while, it's fun to mix things up a little bit. So let's do it. Hold on one second. All right, okay, I think I am better equipped now to do all of the advocating for the Bible that is going to be necessary. Let's jump into Joshua chapter 10. And I guess everyone pretty much knows this account, so I don't have to read too much about it. But basically, the Israelites are having a battle, and they're really giving them a good shellacking. And Joshua pretty much nonchalantly goes and prays to God and says, you know what, it would be really good if we could just finish these guys off properly. So what do you think about making the sun stand still? Which I think is just a great idea that Joshua had. It's like, well, I don't want it to get dark. You know, these people might get away. Maybe God can just make the sun stand still. That seems perfectly reasonable. Now, the first thing that some people might suggest is, wait, doesn't the earth rotate around the sun? So how would the sun be standing still? You know, you can't really get bogged down at the implications of this, that the earth is flat, or that, you know, they didn't have an accurate understanding of how heavenly bodies moved around each other. Because, you know, even though the Bible isn't a science textbook, it still is the perfect, inaccurate, inerrant Word of God. So let's just move past that and think to ourselves, well, you know, how is it possible that the sun could stop, the Earth stopped spinning. Sorry for that little slip up there. Well, I have a couple theories that I'd like to bring up to your guys' attention. This is probably my personal favorite, and I think it is the most foolproof. And that has to do with the ninth planet. I'm going to read, one of my good friends has a blog, and he described it perfectly. So let's just pick it up here. It was at this time, between 40 to 50 years after the events described in Exodus, when the ninth planet was swayed back and came closer to Earth for the second time in less than 50 years. The Bible tells us of the day at which the sun stopped in the sky. It seems, as it did at the time of Exodus, that the earth stopped spinning for a while, so that the sun and the moon appeared to be fixed in the sky. That event could be attributed to the growing magnetic pull of the ninth planet as it approached the inner solar system, causing the gap angle between the magnetic field and the rotation axis to grow smaller, thus leading to a change in Earth's spin speed up to no speed, while still orbiting the sun at its same space cruising speed, of course. And I think that could be the most foolproof out there. But just to be fair, and I'm trying to advocate for the Bible here, so I want to make sure I give all sides of the argument. Another great website that I absolutely love, it's called Never Thirsty. I think it's Never Thirsty for Living Waters of Truth. This one kind of gives all different views. One is that an eclipse occurred, which, to be honest, I think that one's a little bit silly, because the entire point of Joshua wanting to have more light was that he wanted more light. He didn't want to cover the sun. So that just kind of falls apart almost immediately, probably for a million other reasons I'm not even thinking of. What's the evidence? Oh yeah, this is great. So here's the evidence that the Bible's account is true. Various native North American Indian tribes have long tales of a long night, as detailed in 1914 by this other dude. There is a tale of a long night from the Quichua Mayans of Guatemala, as well as from an account from Peru during the reign of Tityu Yupanqui Parachute II, who ruled at the same time that Joshua was in Canaan. The Greek historian Herodotus wrote that when he visited Egypt, the priests there showed him an ancient manuscript which told the story of a day which lasted about twice as long as a normal day. That's pretty compelling. To me, that seems really rock solid evidence. It's kind of like Noah's flood, right? If you have all of these different fables and stories that are being told all across the earth, well then this one might as well be true too. But those other ones aren't. Just this one is. Just to make that very clear. And then my literal conclusion, and I think it just cleans everything up. It makes it real easy. You don't have to think too much. You won't get a headache. No Advil need apply for this explanation. This one basically says it's magic. God can do whatever he wants. He created the universe. He created the sun and the moon and the earth. So why wouldn't he be able to just stop it at any point in time? Okay, listen. Sorry for the gag, but this is one of the silliest things. And if you want to explain it away with magic, that's fine. I just personally think it's lazy, it's uninteresting, and any time that we've investigated and solved a problem, every single time throughout the entirety of our history, never once has magic been an answer, ever. Just think about that. For all of the problem solving that we've done, just in the last 200 years, I get to live for an extra 50 years. My life is almost twice as long because of the advancements of medicine. We've solved so many problems. We understand so much about the universe from this tiny little speck that we are. And all of the questions that we've had and the answers that we've found, never once, ever has the answer been, well, it's magic? So when someone picks up the Bible and reads this account and they just want to shut their brain off and say, well, God can do anything. Okay, I guess there's no arguing with that. What can you say? This all-powerful being can do whatever he wants, so whatever he says is true because he's all-powerful. Circular reasoning 101, and then that's it. So I really found this fascinating. If you want to know what will actually happen, well, I'm not a scientist, so maybe I shouldn't even talk about this, but in my brain, just with my idiot stupidity, I can't even say the word correctly. Have you ever hit the brakes in your car? Okay, so now imagine that your car was going 11,000 miles per hour. Now imagine that your car going 11,000 miles per hour came to a complete stop. Where would you go? Where the air in the car, just the air inside the car, if it stopped, would vaporize the engine. It would be moving so fast. It's absolutely hilarious to think that, well, God just, snaps his fingers Thanos style and everything can just come to a complete halt in time. So anyway, I thought that one was a really interesting story. The sun being motionless, it seems super kooky. There are some explanations that make more sense about it being not a literal thing, but just a figurative language and all of that good stuff. And to me, that is a more level-headed approach than saying that the sun stood still in the sky. Well, thank you for another viewing. Thank you for participating. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching another Bible reading with Wally. And as always, I will see you next time. All right, well, if anyone is trying to control this guy's mind, it looks like he is well prepared. Next up, we are going to go right into the JW Classics and pick up on the How to Make Real Friends video. Enjoy. Hello and welcome back to JW Classics with Wally. We are watching the Young People Ask How Can I Make Real Friends. In the last episode, we had our protagonist who was very unsure of herself and didn't know how to actually fit in with the school crowd and was befriended by the popular girl. They put on a really terrible play during their class, and then she's feeling on top of the world and the class loves her. Let's pick it up and see what happens next.
Stand this girl.
Pretty good intro.
Ladies, brilliant!
Suddenly, Lori's friends didn't mind being seen with me.
That was so great.
You guys should try out for the school play.
Okay, no, that was just for an A. But you have definitely earned a seat at this table, Tara.
Yeah, we had an opening for a literary genius.
Erin, please, I'm no genius.
Ooh, and so modest.
Girl, if I had your talent, I'd catch in on it.
What do you mean?
This little subtle thing where she's not probably supposed to be with, the worldly kids or whatever. But then she still has this indoctrination that compels her, like, oh, I better pray before my meal real fast. Oh, I almost completely forgot about the sort of absurdity of praying before a meal. I remember that we would never really say like a family prayer or anything. It would just be everyone would say their own. And even when I was younger, I thought, God, this is so weird. Like, I just want to eat some pizza. Yet everyone would have to say a prayer before they could dig into the grub. So that was always funny. And then there was always, at our big family dinners, there was this older anointed brother that would go on the longest prayers known to all of Jehovah's Witnessdom. They seriously, and it's not like exaggerating at all, they literally would go for 10 minutes plus. He would go down a list of every single person in the room and ask Jehovah to help them in some specific way. He did put a lot of thought into it, but when I say it's a 10-minute prayer, it was an actual 10-minute prayer. And there was one time when my grandpa got so annoyed at how long-winded this guy's prayer was, he actually interrupted the prayer to basically say, okay, that's enough. Yeah, it was the first time I had ever, had that happen where a prayer was interrupted, but he was so annoyed. And, for the family dinner or whatever for like the year before that, he had made a comment about just how much he hated, whenever Dave would come and have his big long prayers. Anyway, so many memories just from that real brief, quick moment. But we are not here to talk about my memories. We are here to see what these girls are going to do during lunch.
Hello, scholarships, a career, fame,
Money
guys,
and money.
and guys.
No,
High
it's a
five.
hobby for me.
And guys.
So what do you plan to do, Flip?
Yeah.
Well, I need to do something to support myself, but I really want to help people.
What, you mean like a social worker or something?
No, more like volunteer work.
Volunteer work?
Yeah, I mean, we teach people.
Teach what?
Hello, teachers don't make any money.
No, let me explain.
girl's kind of
You see,
a loser.
I'm one of...
Hold that thought.
This video is brought to you by Sprite.
Yeah? Hey, Joanna. Oh, cool. Of course I'll be there. All right, ciao. Summer clearance girls, today only. Tara, you can't miss it.
I don't think I can. I don't have any money with me.
Have no fear. Daddy's credit card is here.
Oh, jeez.
Besides, I owe you big time.
Hey, maybe we can get her out of her Miss Lucinda Falls outfit.
It's Lucinda Falls.
Whatever.
And besides, what's wrong with my outfit?
It sucks and it's boring. I probably shouldn't say that. I think my shirt's the same color as hers.
Now I was in Lori's circle of friends. But I had to make a few changes to fit in.
Oh, time for the big reveal. I hear it in the music.
Great.
Yeah.
Wait till Mark sees you. Mark.
Hello, Mark, in your English class, Mark. He's been checking you out
Gotta
ever
still
since your
dress like
poetry
nerds.
He's cute, and Daddy has big bucks.
Not to mention that he's recently become available. I could definitely see you two together.
Together? I don't want to be together with anyone.
We could set you up.
Well, if he's so great, how come none of you are interested in him?
I'm seeing somebody already.
Ditto. And I'm with Anthony, remember? And he's in college, thank you.
Besides, I'm not into the sensitive intellectual type.
How old are we supposed to
Yeah,
be?
just like that last mutant you were dating.
The intellectually charged type. Don't even get me started on some of the losers you've dated.
Anyway, you are interested.
I like how they're all just complete
Well,
floozies.
no.
Like, look at all the guys you've dated.
I don't know.
Don't worry, Tara. We'll arrange everything.
Arrange what? Arrange what?
That's so
The girls also
creepy.
figured I needed a little help with my social life.
Mark, she's way different from the other girls you've dated. I mean, she's into charity and volunteering and that sort of stuff.
She wants to be a social worker or something like that.
Oh, hi, Tara. Mark, you are so funny. Hi, Tara. We saved a seat just for you.
Thanks.
You know Mark Chandler, don't you?
Yeah, we're in the same English class.
And you are the great poet and playwright.
Oh, God, Mark.
No, I'm
Here
serious.
we go. Let's get some
You were
Mark.
really great. So, how do you like life near the big city?
Well, I haven't actually seen the city yet.
Get out. What do you do when you're not at school?
Break my fork. I'm a nerd.
Yeah, on Meatloaf Day, get the pizza.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Thanks.
Isn't he so sweet?
Anyway, on weekends, I'm usually with my parents. and
Hey, what are you
Great
doing
quote.
Saturday? We could show her around.
On Meatloaf
Tour
Day.
guides, why not?
Sounds like fun.
Count me in. So what do you say?
I don't know, I have to be up early on Sunday.
We'll start early, we'll get back early.
you go.
Yeah.
Come on, Tara.
Early, we mean we're going to keep you out till 4 a.m.
I guess so.
All right, we're on. So we'll meet after lunch. And I'll pick you up at your house.
Great.
That's okay. I'll just get a ride to Lori's. I never would have admitted it, but I did
Okay,
think
cool.
Mark was cute.
Yeah.
And a day with the girls sounded like fun.
Then I said, no, I'll do the family.
That Saturday morning, I went out in field service with Stacy
I don't
Evans.
know.
But my mind was
Stacey
not
Evans.
on preaching.
You want to do the next one?
No, that's okay. You could do it.
She's a real
I
witness.
told
Wears a
Stacy
lot
that
of
I
blue.
was hungry and wanted to stop service early.
This is a
She
cool diner.
insisted on buying me lunch.
The silver spoon.
Okay, here's your salad. Thanks.
It'll be a couple minutes on your burger, honey.
Thanks.
It's a big ass plate of fries. Holy hell.
So,
That's a lot
how
of
you
fries.
doing? I mean, getting used to the new school and everything.
Okay, actually. Most everyone's been pretty nice.
Oh, that's good. Hey, listen, I'm having some friends over tonight. I want you to come.
I love their awkward
I
interchange.
actually made a cheesecake that I'm proud of.
I'd love to, but I promised to go into the city with some friends.
Oh, from our hall?
No, from school. But they're just gonna show me around the city. They're real nice.
Look, I hope you don't mind me asking this, but how well do you really know these kids?
Yeah,
What do you
how
mean?
Do you know them?
I mean, do they have any interest in the Bible?
Yeah, are you gonna preach to them?
I don't know, it hasn't come up. But they're not into drugs or anything like that. In fact, they're even nicer than some of the kids at the Kingdom Hall.
Well, even if that were true, don't you think you have to be careful with people who may not even believe in the Bible?
Oh God, that sounds terrifying.
Don't forget what happened to Dinah.
Oh yeah.
Dinah.
Yeah, you remember Jacob's daughter?
Go with the kids at school. Get
These
raped.
kids are not Canaanites. They're very nice.
Maybe, but what are their beliefs? What are their morals?
It's a good question to ask, in fact. Let's see this burger though. Oh, he
So
didn't
you're
even bring the
saying
burger.
that I shouldn't be friendly with anyone in school who isn't a witness?
Nope.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that at all.
Yes, you are.
I mean, the Bible tells us to love our neighbors. But doesn't it also warn us that it's dangerous to get too close to certain people? People that don't follow God's standards? Dinah learned that the hard way.
But don't we have to teach people about the Bible?
Yeah, I can preach.
How can I do that if I don't spend any time with
I
them?
can be a pioneer.
Oh, so you have had a
We
chance
just
to witness
date
to
Mark.
them?
Well, no. But that's not the point. Lori and her friends are not bad.
Okay. But do they encourage you to do good things?
Like,
Define good.
Like personal study, meetings, field service?
no.
this is classic Watchtower nonsense. This cracks me up. So her definition of, okay, but do they encourage you to do good things? I wonder what good things Stacy is going to remind. I can't even remember what her name is. Kimberly or something? I don't know. Maybe that was her fake name. But what is she going to remind her to do? Do these kids at school actually encourage you to do personal study? Go to the meetings? Pray? Like, oh, this is just typical Watchtower nonsense where you have a bunch of deluded men that live a cushy life thinking that the things they say are inspired of God. And this is the type of crap that it produces where, you know, someone that's just trying to be normal and have a normal life and have friends at school. Yeah, but I don't care how nice they are, because do they encourage you to go in the ministry? Like, how could they encourage her to go in the ministry? It's not even possible. The whole scenario is just so great. Oh man, I love doing these classics. My cheeks hurt. Now let's go.
Oh. Look, Stacy, I've already given my word. And Jesus did say I have to let my yes mean yes,
Sure.
right?
Tara, do you really think Jesus meant saying yes to things that can hurt you?
Stacy, I'll be careful. I'm not gonna do anything stupid. Trust me.
I don't trust you.
Here's your burger, honey.
Oh, this food looks so terrible. And then, of course,
Stacy's words
the
affected me
prayer.
far more than she realized.
And she's a pioneer, so she prays for a while. Oh, sunglasses.
But I had already made up my mind.
Evils of sunglasses.
Let's go. You know Tara's gonna turn into a pumpkin. Just squeeze me.
I lied to my parents and told them I had plans with some friends from the
Oh,
congregation.
that's not good. Nice music. The old Ford Explorer.
So how tall is it?
It's like 300 or 400 stories.
Not like 200.
Does it matter? It's just tall, okay?
My God.
This is so sad that they're like,
At first, we pretty much stayed together as
yeah,
a group.
everyone was having fun. That's how normal people do things.
But soon, Mark and I were talking.
This place is
I really
awesome.
enjoyed
Look
the
around.
attention.
There's so much to do.
Oh, I love
Oh,
his
boy.
stuff.
But you know he was stoned when he wrote those poems. You write better when you're high?
No, I'm not into drugs. Are you?
You know that used to be the tallest building in New York?
Did you know that used to be the tallest? I've never done drugs before. Seems crazy.
Children! Hey, Kyle, you want us to lift you up so you can see?
Mark made me feel special.
Looks
And
great
the more I
on
got to
sunset.
know him, the more I liked him.
59th Street Bridge, Roosevelt Park.
Oh, I bet they.
I wasn't going to
bet
let
they
anything
jaywalk, too.
spoil this day.
Well, you know, I knew you'd like it.
Oh, they don't even jaywalk. Oh man, the old "What Does God Require of Us" brochure, and didn't they change the cover? I just remember the guy with the mustache on it. Anyway.
Okay.
I wonder, are these all witnesses? I'm trying to figure out. They can't all be.
They're pretty good.
Maybe they are. I don't know. Maybe they just paid him a $5.
Where's Kyle?
Oh, Kyle. The music. Kyle's pretty shady anyway.
Mark, Lori, everybody, thanks. I really had a great time.
Could I ask like a really stupid question?
Never stopped you before.
Why are we going home so early?
Aaron's right. This place doesn't even get going until after dark.
That's true, and if we leave now, all we're gonna do is sit in traffic.
Why don't we hit a couple of clubs?
Wait, you're gonna hit a club
Sounds great,
so you don't
but-
hit traffic?
Come on, Tara, just call your friends and tell me you had a flat tire or something.
Oh, yeah.
So they're gonna hit a club at what, 5 or 6? Oh, that's hilarious. That is spoken from someone, or that is written by someone that has never been to a club before in their entire lives. If you show up to a club at like 9 or 10 o'clock, you're a nerd. Oh my God, that is so funny. I mean, in the brief time that I ever went out, like you don't even leave your house till 11 o'clock. It's like 5. Let's go to a few clubs so we don't hit traffic. This is great. Oh, that is
No, I better get home.
hysterical.
I want to go home now.
People, have no fear. Thanks to me, your evening will not be a total waste.
Oh, so you're leaving?
Oh, I got some drugs.
Now you know I don't touch that stuff. Stunts your growth.
You're lost.
Kyle, put it away before we get busted. Oh, I hope that's the good stuff.
The best.
Hey, my parents are gone. Little party at my place.
Yeah.
Too bad, Tara, you're missing out. Tara, are you okay?
I've
Yeah,
just seen drugs
it's
for the
just
first
that-
time in my life.
Never mind.
Well, we better get Tara back home before she misses her bedtime.
To be
You
honest,
know what we
Chrissy,
look like.
I probably would have stayed. But it was getting dark, and I knew I'd never get away with coming home that late.
Hey, don't forget about that party next week.
That's right, guys.
All right, see you later. Bye, Mark.
Mark told me he didn't mind taking me home.
How long have we been selected for? 18 minutes.
Oh, Mark, you want to make your next left?
Wait, Tara, there's one more place you've got to see.
Mark, I've got to get home.
I'll get you home. Trust me.
Mark.
Well, before Mark goes crazy, and we can pause it right on the Taco Bell sign, because this video was brought to you by Taco Bell. That's not me, that's the Watchtower. Well, thank you so much for joining me on another JW Classics. Maybe we'll be able to get through the entire movie in next month's broadcast. But for now, I will leave you with our host. Thank you so much. All right, well, that concludes another JW Thoughts broadcasting. Thank you. Yeah, so apparently I shot 128 gigabytes worth of footage this month. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Roll the outro. Thank you.